Hello friends, and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be spending our day in the beautiful Mount Dora here in Central Florida. Mount Dora was settled back in 1874 by a gentleman named David Simpson, his wife, and two children. Now, this town was founded back in 1880, and there are a lot of historic locations here. We're going to be taking a look at them. I'm just going to be walking around the town, just kind of get to know it. I've been here a couple of times, but I don't know it in depth. All I know is that this city is beautiful. It's got hills. It's got historic locations. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of walk around, and I'm very excited to get this video started. So I'm inviting you to come join me, and let's go have a wonderful day. Another cool fact is that Mount Dora is a home to one of 3 freshwater lighthouses in all of Florida. It also hosts many monthly festivals, and it is known as the Festival City. So there are some historic locations that we're going to be taking a look at. We're probably going to be doing some picture comparisons. So let's get in there. Another location that you'll find here in Mount Dora that has some historical significance is this church over here. This, by the way, is US 441, also known as Orange Blossom Trail. This over here, this is Old 441. Very awesome street. Just love these back roads. Just love them. But this building over here is called, or was once, the Mount Zion Primitive Baptist Church. And this building here has been standing here since 1896, folks. 1896. People pass by here all the time, not knowing that this is a historical building. I mean, how many people, this is like a gas station, convenience store. How many people actually come to this convenience store not knowing that they have America heritage right behind this building? And let's go ahead and take a closer look. It's amazing how this building has been here since 1896, folks. That is a long time. And I'm just kind of wondering, when was the last time this was used? You can see this relic over here. Very cool relic from the old days. I'm assuming this right over here is where the announcements were made of what, sermon was going to be preached. And this is pretty interesting over here. You got a kind of like an hourglass type of keychain there. Very interesting. I wonder how long that's been sitting here. And let's take a look around the building. Obviously, it's seen its better days. And I'm surprised it's not overgrown over here. They kind of keep the grass pretty well maintained. But yeah, folks, I wonder how many sermons. And it says there, security camera in use, which I don't really see any. But this is pretty interesting, folks. 1896. Amazing. Obviously, it's seen better days. Got this little shed over here. Very, very cool. And it's, I'm just wondering how many people have actually come here. Obviously, a lot of people come over here to drink beer. But just amazing to me how this building has been here for such a long time. I'm kind of wondering what this was at one time. Pretty cool. Amazing. Now, obviously, you cannot go inside, otherwise you would be trespassing. Right there. But it is open at the moment. I'm not going to go in there, but it is open. You can see the latch right here, opened, but it does say trespassing, so I am not going to do that. But I'm just wondering how many people actually walked up these stairs to hear a sermon from the preacher. 1896, folks. 1896. And actually, what we can do over here, small little building. I'm sure not a lot of people congregated here, but maybe, you know, no trespassing. They actually have a Christmas tree there. They do. And people can actually be living in there at the moment. So, but yeah, pretty amazing. They actually have a Christmas tree in there. But yeah, 1896, folks. You can see how back in the day, what this looked like. And it had the signage right over here of the church, right there, Mount Zion. And that's what it looked like. Even though the grass was a bit overgrown back then, and I'm not sure when this photograph was made, taken. It says here August 2015. But yeah, that's what it kind of looked like back then. I guess the church was probably operational at that time. But yeah, this is awesome right here. This is like a big, tremendous relic from the past. Very cool. And here are more photographs of what the church looked like. Actually, this is inside the church. Pretty cool. There's the pew. Right there, the pews. Pretty cool. That's what the church looked like back in the day. Very well kept. Also, it states here, right over here, it appears to be that the first, right here, Reverend McCarthy was the first pastor in 1896. I'm so used to saying 19, but 1896. Reverend McCarthy was the first pastor here in this church. So there's some history here, obviously. There's the picture of this right here, again, right there. That's what it looked like. It's the inside. There's the pulpit. Very cool indeed. Just love these small town roads, particularly in the Central Florida area. How you can kind of see some hills. Just love it. Just love it. Mount Dora is super cool. Let me just say that. Been here a few times. Not really kind of walked around and checking that out in detail. Like I like to do things. I like to check out things in detail. But it's nice to come in here and actually do a video. Very cool. All right, here's another historic location in the corner of North Clayton Street and East Grant Avenue. This was known to be the Witherspoon House. And there is an information plaque over there. There's a couple of plaques over here that we'll find, but let's just kind of walk around and take a look at it. Now, I believe this building here was built in 1903, folks. 1903. This building here. And let's go ahead and walk up to the historic information plaque. It says here, Witherspoon Lodge of Free and Accepted Masons. It says here, it followed the tradition of Prince Hall, 1737 to 1807, but somewhere here it should state that it was built in 1903. So this here home has been here, sitting here for quite some time. There's another couple of plaques here, and this one over here states Witherspoon Restoration. Well, it was restored in 2007. That's what that plaque is all about. And then this one over here says Witherspoon Lodge number 3, dedicated in 1949. But let's take a walk around the whole building. There's another plaque over here. Let's take a look and see what it says. City of Mount Dora Historic Preservation Board, 1903. See if you can see it here. 1903. Obviously, it's seen its better days. This building has been standing here for quite some time. Right there. And the gentleman over here, William, he was actually telling me, and that's the address 1470. He was telling me that this building is actually up for rent. So if it is up for rent, that means it has passed inspection, and which means people could actually vacate this property and use it for whatever they need to use it for. But obviously, this is a landmark here in Mount Dora. Very old structure. Kind of reminds me of the church that we saw earlier in the video. But this was the home of Freemasons for a long, long time. There is the sign right there. Freemasons. People have been walking through that door there since 1903. Very cool. You got the windows all boarded up, so we can't actually take a look inside. It'd be nice if we could. Let's go back to the plaque. This plaque is from 2001. It says the Witherspoon Lodge of free and accepted Masons, number 3, is one of the Florida's oldest functioning African American lodges, established in 1898. It followed the tradition of Prince Hall, 1735-1807, who opposed racial oppression in colonial New England and founded the first African American lodge in the United States. The Witherspoon Lodge bought this frame vernacular style building in 1903. You can see that right there, 1903. Yeah, this has been standing here for quite some time. Just love seeing these types of buildings here for a long, long time. Very, very cool. Very cool. You can actually see how it still has power running to it. See that power running to it. So if you're interested in renting this, you can actually rent it for your business or maybe even to live. I don't know. This is the corner of East 3rd Avenue and Donnelly Street. And this is what's considered downtown Mount Dora. And one thing that I did notice is that every bench over here has a memorial to someone. I'm assuming somebody that lived here in Mount Dora. This one is Richie Rich Nevins, 2002. And just kind of really digging the vibes over here. And just kind of show you guys a little bit. So you got a couple of other benches. Rusty Brown. This is a donation made to Mount Dora. And I love this restaurant over here. And it's got a gnome over here. Big guy over here holding a pigeon, apparently. And look at this sign over here. Gnome body beyond this point, keep out. There's a big guy here. He also has a frog there at his feet. It's pretty cool. Big guy here. Mount Dora Marketplace. Very cool place. Very nice indeed. And actually over here on this wall I noticed that there is a mural on this wall. Mural of an owl over here. Love the murals. I think it's an owl. I'm not sure. It's spreading its wings. That's very cool. Oh, and I see something. I see a relic from the past right over here. It's pretty cool. This old wagon. Very nice. Very, very cool. Love it. All we're missing is the horse right over here. But this is so cool. So cool. I wish I had a date on it to know what year this was manufactured, but it doesn't. And I'm assuming probably in the 20s, 1920s, maybe earlier than that. Very nice. You can tell that this building over here probably dates back to the early 1900s, just by looking at the very top. Kind of looks like some of the buildings that you'll find in Winter Garden in Clearmont. You can just tell these buildings have been here for a long time. You know, this is a very historic town. Very beautiful indeed. See some of these buildings there. That one over there has definitely seen a lot of days. Very, very cool. Very vintage. This is a nice town. Really, really is. And it's beautiful weather, actually. The weather today is nice and cool. You see people with some sweaters and some rain jackets to cover themselves from the cool weather. But this is very, very nice. You can tell that this building, and I'm only assuming that this building here at one time was a bank, just the way it's built. Back in the day, they were pretty much cookie cutter as far as what type of business it was. And this building looks like it was a bank at one time. One thing I do see is that this town lacks historical plaques like you see in other cities. Now, we did see 2 of them earlier today, but you don't see a lot of them here on the actual buildings. And I love that. I love how this city has these signs telling you in what direction the businesses are. That is very cool. That's unique. I've never seen that in other cities. So that's pretty cool there. Love this building as well. You can tell that this building has been around here since the early 1900s. Just by the design there on the railing. You don't see that nowadays. That was something that you would see back in the day. So actually, I do see a plaque right across the street on that building. So let's go ahead and take a walk and look at it. But I'm just completely fascinated by this building here. Just the work that they put into this building. Even on the lights, you can see there some dragons. Pretty cool. And over here, there's the plaque. And this is the Ramsey building. I kind of read a little bit about it. This building here. This building is dedicated to Roy C. Ramsey, whose imagination and knowledge of trade made it a reality. Now, it doesn't state when this building was built, but it was dedicated in 1983. So maybe there's another plaque somewhere that we can read where it states when this was built. But yeah, you can tell this building is very old. You can also see that building over there. These buildings here have been here for quite some time. Very nice. Over here, you can see right up there, it says James Simpson, which is the name that I mentioned at the very beginning. It said James Simpson. No, it was David Simpson. But this one here says there on the top, 1925. Let me zoom in. 1925. But yeah, this building doesn't have another plaque, but we'll just continue to walk around and see what we come across. But you can tell this city, these buildings have been sitting here for a long, long, long time. Very cool city. And this is the James Simpson's building that we saw. And you can always tell a historic building because of the stairs. Anytime you see a staircase on the outside of the building, that's a very telling, or that's an indication that this building is historic. You don't see that nowadays. Nowadays, they build the staircases in the building, not on the exterior, like this one here. Very, very cool. You can also see on this building, this very old relic thermostat right there. Look at that. That is so awesome. Been here for years and years and years. So cool. That sign. I've seen a lot of days. Very vintage. Very cool. And we're gonna continue to walk. And I was never able to see any type of plaque. They don't have plaques on these buildings. I can't believe it. Buildings, you can tell they've been sitting here for a long time and they don't have plaques to them. But this one over here does. It's a historic location here in Mount Dora. And this is the John Donnelly house. You can see here they actually use this house for ghost tours. Right there. It's pretty cool. Come inside for a tour of the Donnelly house for $10. Got that image there. That's scary looking in itself. But this here is the Masonic temple. Right there. And it looks like John Donnelly, a native Pittsburgh, came to Mount Dora in 1879. In 1881, he married Annie McDonald Stone, a prominent landowner in the community. Successful in a number of real estate and business ventures, Donnelly built this imposing Queen Anne style house in 1893. So very historic. Very historic. See that there? Just kind of take a quick look at the home. Very old home. You can tell. Look at that. Looks very Gothic. It's got the masonry logo on there. Very old home. Just gotta take a quick look here. I think this is not open at the moment. Otherwise, I think I would have taken the tour. Come around this side over here. I love how they kind of make it to where you can actually walk the property. Look at that door there. You can actually look inside. Kind of see inside there. Cool. And look at this. Look at this. There's a fire escape out there. Staircase on the outside of the house. Very indicative of a historic home. And look at this. Wow. So awesome. Obviously I can't walk in there. Otherwise I would go down there in a heartbeat. Very cool. This is the Donnelly home, folks. Another thing I would say is that Mount Dora is obviously big time into Freemasonry. This is the second historic location that we actually see signs of, Freemasonry. So yeah, this is the Connolly home built in 1893. Now this is the Mount Dora train depot, which was built in 1915. However, it is a rebuild of the original, which was built in the late 1800s. And I actually have a photograph that I found online taken back in 1920, and this pretty much is the angle right over here. There you got the train depot back in 1920 right there. Actually, you can actually see right here a train parked right there. But that's a train depot right there, 1915. And again, it was a rebuild of the original from the late 1800s right there. Let's take a closer look. So the original train depot was built in 1895. So this has been here, train depot, right? This is like the second one, but a train depot has been here since 1895, friends. And obviously, how many times has a train traveled through these tracks? A lot. Let's kind of take a walk around the building. You see that vintage sign up there. Yeah, this has been here for a long time. I'm pretty sure this is an add-on. Pretty sure that's not original. But yeah, 1895. Very cool. Kind of walk around this way. Whoop. Very nice. There's a squirrel up there. Very nice indeed. Trying to see if there's a plaque here somewhere. There is one right over here. You can also see this vintage light right there. I'm assuming that was a candle back in the day. Look at that. That is old. There it is right there. Atlantic Coastline Railroad Depot, 1915. Very, very old. Very cool. Piece of history. Just kind of want to take a look at that pier over there. It's kind of overlooking Lake Mount Dora. Beautiful day today, no clouds in the sky, a nice 74 degrees. It's pretty cool here. This is their logo, it's Mount Dora logo. And you need to be careful not to feed the alligators. It's very nice. Ooh, you can feel this dock moving. Kind of makes me dizzy, but you know, back in the early 1900s, Central Florida was very popular for bass fishing. And so that is another reason why a lot of people in Mount Dora kind of grew pretty rapidly during that time, because there were a lot of people from all the United States, all over the United States, coming over here to do some bass fishing. And you would catch one of the biggest bass in all of the US, called big mouth bass. And so yeah, that's one of the reasons why Mount Dora became what it is today. And now, you know, obviously the population has grown, and this city is very beautiful. Let me tell you, it's one of the cities that I've enjoyed the most coming to, visiting, and just kind of walking around and feeling the Mount Dora vibe. Very, very cool. Here's another beautiful shot of the lake. But another reason why you want to come over here to Mount Dora is to visit Lakeside Inn. Now the Lakeside Inn has been here since 1883. Originally named Alexander House, but had a name change in 1903, and they changed it to Lakeside Inn. And let's kind of take a look over here. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to film, being that it is a private property, but I'm asked for permission, see if I can film. But you can see over here, Lakeside Inn since 1883. So obviously people would travel, train, get off the train depot, and lodge right over here. So this is the lobby area. Love how the floor creaks. Some antique furniture here. Very beautiful. Love how they have old photographs. It's the pool area. 1940s. Right there. This is the whole property right there. This is a picture taken in 1939, 1935. A lot of old relics here. Very cool. Here's a couple more photographs, and we're gonna walk down that way. This is the entrance where we came in through, right here. It's the dock. See here, 1906. This old fireplace right here. Very cool. Over here you can see the opening day in 1884, right over there. That is amazing. Look at this vintage radio here. Very, very cool. And then there's sold more photographs over here. This is the lobby area. That's the entrance right there. Very nice. A gator. Take a closer look at it here. Little guy just basking in the sun. He's hanging out. Pretty cool. So yeah, friends, that is the Lakeside Inn. I wasn't able to kind of walk around the whole second floor. I couldn't go to the third floor. Particularly, they told me you cannot film third floor. So they asked me to make myself at home on the second floor. I didn't want to be too intrusive, so I didn't film much at all on the second floor, but definitely a place to come and visit. If you love historic locations like I do, definitely come over here. Definitely come to Mount Dora. I mean, hands down, come to Mount Dora, walk around, spend a good 2, 3, 4 hours just walking around. Plenty of places to come and eat. Very cool. Highly recommend this place. Take one last look at the Lakeside Inn. 1883, folks. Got a pool area. Just to kind of give you a little bit more history, this is what's called Donnelly Street, and over here there's a little bit of information on what was J.P. Donnelly, and it says over here that John Phillips, right, J.P., was born in Pennsylvania on February 5th, 1850. J.P. moved to Mount Dora in 1879, where he invested heavily in the community and established several citrus groves. This is he right there. You see there getting married as he was married. When Mount Dora was incorporated in 1910, J.P. Donnelly was elected as first mayor, served on the South Florida Chautauqua, what? I don't know how to pronounce that, and organized the Mount Dora Educational Society. This is the home that we saw earlier today, right there, built in 1893. Here's some more photographs of him with that home in the background, right there. Some more information there on him. This is Mount Dora. Through the years, you can see over here, there was no brick, no pavement. It was actually dirt road. There's Mount Dora there. There. That's pretty cool. Yep, we owe it all to this gentleman right over here, J.P. Donnelly. Also on this side, you see some information on the lady whose town is named after, and it is Dora Ann Drawdy. Dora Ann was born in 1826, May 12th, in Irwin, Georgia, and married her husband here in James Drawdy in 1843 and had 3 children. And this is her right here. So Mount Dora is actually named after her. Here you can see a couple of other photographs of her right there. This is from 1914. You can see her there as well. Very old photographs. Many of them here. Many of these buildings are still standing. Right there. It says here, Dora and her children continue to live in the settlement and would often feed and house traveling government surveyors. In return for Dora's southern hospitality, the surveyors named Lake Dora in her honor. It's her right there. Being that Mount Dora is the home of only 3 freshwater lighthouses in all of Florida, that's going to be the next spot that I'm going to go pay a visit. Check that out, and then probably end the video there. Just kind of walking here towards the lighthouse. You can see it over there in the distance. Look at the railroad tracks over here, and look at this over here. This is very, very interesting to me. Never came across something like this. I actually drove underneath the railroad tracks, and it was something I've never done in my life. But look, that is so cool. Amazing. Clearance looks like it's 9 feet 6 inches. I wonder how many people have actually hit that, but I've never seen something like that. That is so cool. But we're gonna go ahead and walk to the lighthouse, which is in that direction over there. Little gazebo there. Like the tile work on it. Very cool tile work. It's full of spider webs, so I don't want to get too far into it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. Always got to be careful whenever you're around the lake. Obviously, we saw a gator early on today, so you always got to be careful. And here are the benches. All benches have some type of plaque on it. So you can see there. This tree over here has a plaque as well. Look, James Simpson Jr. Oh, interesting. And then there's the rock formation over here. I wonder what this is all about. Let's take a look. Large rock. Any plaques? Yep, there is one. Simpson Cove. All right. First homesteader, David Milton Simpson. We spoke about him. And his wife, Mary Van, and their children, Monroe Van and Jesse. Their cabin was located not far north of this spot in 1874. Yeah, full circle. Look at that. There it is right there. The lighthouse. One of 3 in Florida. And Mount Dora has one of them. There it is right there. See if there's a plaque on it. And it says here, Shell's Lighthouse Public Works Director in 1960, 1980. Not really a plaque that I was looking for. But here's the lighthouse. Let me show you from back here. freshwater lighthouse, only 3 in all of Florida. And Clearmont, I'm sorry, Mount Dora is one of them. Here's the canyon. Look, there's cameras on the tree. Wow, never seen something like that. Also, there's a lot of noise coming from up there. I wonder what that is. Very strange. I never seen cameras on a tree like that. Never. And I'm in the line of business that deals with cameras. Never seen that. All right, friends, I'm going to end this video right here, but I had a blast coming to Mount Dora. Definitely a place that I recommend coming. If you have nothing to do, just drive over here, get off your car, walk around a little bit. You're going to come across a lot of restaurants, a lot of nice people, a lot of things to do, a lot of things to see, a lot of historic buildings, a lighthouse. I mean, there is so much to do here in Mount Dora. I'm glad I came over here, and I'm going to end this video like I always do. We came, we saw, and we conquered. And do me a favor, have a wonderful day. Peace.